70s and 80s were a golden age for rock music. It witnessed the birth of some of the most iconic anthems ever made. But as with any period of musical greatness, there were a few tracks that, well, didn't quite make the cut. In this video, we'll be taking a look at 12 worst rock songs from the 70s and 80s you love to hate. Number 12, The Stroke, Billy Squier, 1981. The Stroke by Billy Squier, where rock meets awkward, over-the-top double entendres in the most glorified way. Released in 1981, this track has legendary status for being as cheesy as it is catchy. That riff, totally iconic. The lyrics, well, let's just say if you ever sung stroke me without thinking twice, you're not alone. Bill Squier's swagger in this song is pure 80s excess, with all the subtlety of a wrecking ball. It's like he's trying to be rock and roll's bad boy while sounding like he's writing the lyrics for a high school drama club. It's so painful that you can't help but love it ironically. So yeah, The Stroke is that cheesy, sweaty 80s anthem that, for all of its embarrassing glory, has somehow earned a spot in rock history. It's so bad, it's good. And we wouldn't have it any other way. If you thought Billy Squier's Stroke was awkward, wait till you hear the one that made whipped cream feel scandalous. Number 11, Cherry Pie, Warrant, 1990. She's my cherry pie, such a sweet. Okay, yes, I know Cherry Pie is technically from 1990, but it's so steeped in the 80s hair metal aesthetic that it practically belongs on this list. By 1990, hair metal was in its final glittery death throes, and Warrant's Cherry Pie was the genre's loud, shameless parting gift, packed with enough innuendo to make your mom uncomfortable. It's pure sticky sweet sleaze rock served up with zero subtlety and a music video that looks like it was directed by a bottle of whipped cream. Even Warrant's own lead singer, Janie Lane, later said he hated the song, calling it a last-minute label demand. And it shows. The lyrics are dumb, the guitar solo was dialed up to 11 for no reason, and the whole thing feels like the soundtrack to a gas station parking lot in 1989. Still, you can't help but smirk when it comes on. It's obnoxious, it's over the top, and it's absolutely unforgettable. You don't have to like Cherry Pie to enjoy shouting the chorus at full volume. You just have to admit it's the perfect rock song to love to hate. From whipped cream to sleepy brass sections, let's slide into a song that feels more like a musical nap than a rock anthem. Number 10, Let 'Em In, Wings, 1976. Open the door. Let 'Em In by Wings is one of those songs that people either love or love to hate, and for good reason. Released in 1976, it was a chart-topping hit for Paul McCartney and his band of musical misfits. But over the years, it turned into one of the most divisive tracks in their catalog. The song's simple, repetitive chorus of Let 'Em In and its relaxed, almost loungy vibe are perfect for a Sunday afternoon nap, but as a rock anthem, not so much. You might find yourself wondering if Paul McCartney was secretly auditioning for a role in a 70s elevator music commercial. The minimalist instrumentation doesn't help. Without the thundering beat we've come to expect from classic rock, we're left with soft piano, horns, and a rhythm section that seems to have taken the day off. It's almost like the song is saying, hey, let's keep it chill, like really, really chill. Let 'Em In often gets a pass as one of the weaker tracks in McCartney's post-Beatles career. It's that guilty pleasure you play when you want to feel sophisticated, but can't quite defend without raising an eyebrow. Sure, it's mellow, but let's face it, even Paul McCartney probably knew it wasn't exactly going to ignite the rock world. You'll hum it, sure, but you probably won't admit to it. It's the musical equivalent of the sweater vest of the 70s. And now, from sleepy soft rock to a power ballad that's equal parts heartfelt and hilariously over the top. Number 9, Sister Christian, Night Ranger, 1984. Sister Christian, the rock ballad that somehow manages to be earnest, dramatic, and totally over the top all at once. Released in 1984, this track by Night Ranger quickly became a staple of the 80s power ballads, and it's one of those songs you just can't help but love to hate. Motorin', that chorus is iconic, and by iconic, I mean, it's the kind of thing that will get stuck in your head for hours and haunt you in your sleep. It's equal parts inspiring and awkward, especially when you realize the song is about the lead singer's little sister growing up too fast. Yeah, we've all been there, right? What really makes Sister Christian shine in the love to hate category is the over-the-top sincerity. The vocals are so earnest, you almost feel like they're trying to give a drunken wedding speech. It's like someone took a rock anthem and poured a whole bottle of emotional syrup all over it. The whole thing is a glorious mess, but you can't look away. It's one of those songs you'll hear at 80s parties where everyone's half laughing, half singing along. Because no one can resist belting out Motorin with reckless abandon. It's cheesy, it's dramatic, it's got that feel-good energy. That's exactly why we love to hate it. Speaking of drama, let's talk about two rock legends and one very uncomfortable duet that left us dancing. Number 8. Dancing in the Street, David Bowie and Mick Jagger, 1985. If there was ever a song that made you wonder, what in the name of rock and roll is going on here? It's Dancing in the Street by David Bowie and Mick Jagger. Released in 1985, this cover of the classic Motown hit became, well, let's just say it didn't quite hit the mark. First off, let's talk about the video. We were watching two rock gods, one wearing a suit that looks like it's been stolen from a disco ball, the other having a midlife crisis in neon. Groove in a way that's not so much dancing as it is awkwardly flailing around for an hour. Mick Jagger's pelvic thrusts, iconic, but confusing. David Bowie, meanwhile, looks like he's just there for the paycheck. The energy is wildly off, like two guys at a party who both insist they can out-dance each other and somehow end up with zero rhythm between them. Musically, it's a mess of saxophones, overly enthusiastic hand claps, and Jagger singing, which is generously described as vocal gymnastics. Meanwhile, Bowie's falsetto gives off, "I'll just show up and try to out-weird everyone" energy. But here's the thing, it's so gloriously awful, you can't help but chuckle. And that's exactly why it's a love-to-hate anthem. Now that we've survived the strangest sidewalk dance-off ever recorded, let's slow it down with a song that basically cried its way onto this list. Number 7. I Want to Know What Love Is, Foreigner, 1984. I wanna know what love is. Let's be honest. I Want to Know What Love Is the power ballad that's so dramatic it practically screams, "I'm here to ruin your date night." Released in 1984, this track took Foreigner from hard rockers to soft rock icons. And not everyone was thrilled about it. Some fans probably felt like they'd been slapped in the face with a giant velvet pillow of feelings. With its soul-searching lyrics, deep introspection, and soaring gospel choir, this song feels like it belongs in a movie montage where a guy is crying on the floor of his apartment after breaking up with someone he's only known for a week. But what really makes it stand out is the tragic urgency of it all. Mick Jones is practically pleading for someone to tell him what love is, as if love is this elusive, mystical creature. Meanwhile, we're all sitting there thinking, "Mick, buddy, you're in a rock band." The song's lyrics are the kind of deep thoughts you might hear at 2 a.m. after a few too many drinks. I want to know what love is, I want you to show me. It's the ultimate 80s angst, but instead of being edgy, it's as delicate as a tissue in the rain. The power ballad formula is dialed up to 11, with a gospel choir swooping in like an emotional rescue squad, ready to revive your life by sheer force of melody. The result? A song that's so over the top in its sentimentality that it circles back to campy genius. It's the track you secretly belt out when you're alone, but then immediately regret and check the windows to make sure no one heard. You love to hate it, but deep down, you kind of want to hug it. Ready to trade heartbreak for a bit of irony? Let's plug into a song that gave us iconic riffs and a level of cringe-worthiness to match. Number 6. Money for Nothing, Dire Straits, 1985.
Them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV.
Money for Nothing by Dire Straits is one of those songs that's so tied to its era that it's hard to separate the track from the controversy and unintended irony it's accumulated over the years. The track's famous guitar riff has been endlessly memed and parodied, becoming more of a pop culture punchline than a musical landmark. Though the riff was groundbreaking at the time, the song feels like it was trying too hard to be both socially conscious and commercially viable, and it didn't fully succeed at either. Over the years, Money for Nothing has morphed into a symbol of 80s excess, with an air of self-righteousness and a lack of genuine reflection that ultimately makes it more uncomfortable than compelling. If you thought that was a strange turn for rock, wait until you hear what the Rolling Stones tried to pull off in 1980. Number 5. Emotional Rescue, The Rolling Stones, 1980. The Rolling Stones are undeniably one of the greatest rock bands of all time, but Emotional Rescue, released in 1980, is a song that often stands out as one of their more questionable experiments. Known for their raw, gritty rock and roll sound, the Stones took a strange detour into the realm of disco, funk, and almost lounge music with this track. The result? A bizarre mix of synthesized beats, falsetto vocals, and to be honest, a lack of the usual flair that defined the Stones' best work. Emotional Rescue tries to be seductive with its smooth, almost sultry vibe, but Mick Jagger's high-pitched falsetto, intended to sound soulful, comes off as jarring and weirdly off-putting. The track's disco influences don't feel like an artistic choice so much as a desperate attempt to stay relevant in the rapidly changing music scene of the early 80s. Rather than adding anything new or exciting to their repertoire, the Stones instead produced a song that felt awkwardly out of place. So the Stones dipped into disco, but what happens when Kiss decides to hit the dance floor? Let's just say, even a good guitar riff couldn't save this one. Number 4. I Was Made for Lovin' You, Kiss, 1979. If there's one song in this video that perfectly captures a band losing its identity in pursuit of a trend, it's I Was Made for Lovin' You by Kiss. Released in 1979 at the height of disco fever, this track saw the kings of glam rock trade in their signature hard rock sound for pulsing bass lines and dance floor rhythms. It was a hit, climbing the charts and filling clubs, but it also left fans scratching their heads. Die-hard Kiss fans felt betrayed by the sudden shift to disco, and even today, the song is a lightning rod for debate. The falsetto vocals, repetitive chorus, and glossy production haven't exactly aged like fine wine. Instead of the thunderous rock anthems Kiss was known for, this track delivered a strange genre-bending experiment that's as cheesy as it is catchy. It's a song you remember, even if it's with an eye roll and a groan. And now we arrive at the song that launched 1,000 training montages, plus a million memes. Number 3. The Final Countdown, Europe, 1986. It's the final countdown. There's a reason that The Final Countdown by Europe has become one of the most widely mocked rock songs of the 80s. It's a classic case of an anthem so overblown and self-important that it circled back to being unintentionally hilarious. Released in 1986, the song was designed to be an epic arena rock masterpiece, but its bombastic, synthesizer-heavy sound and ridiculously grandiose lyrics have cemented it as a guilty pleasure that's often laughed at more than celebrated. The lyrics are vague at best, offering up grand imagery of a final countdown without any real explanation as to what's actually happening. It's as if the band threw in all the cliches of the 80s rock anthems, space metaphors, dramatic pauses, an arena rock chorus, and hoped that the sheer intensity would somehow make it profound. Instead, it became an enduring symbol of the era's penchant of excessiveness. It's fun to listen to if you're in the mood for some over-the-top 80s nostalgia, but let's be honest, it's a song that doesn't have nearly the same gravitas it originally aimed for. Feeling dramatic yet? Great, because now we're taking a slow dance detour into wedding song overload. Number 2. Wonderful Tonight, Eric Clapton, 1977. And I'll say yes, you look wonderful. Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight is one of those songs that's undeniably iconic, yet somehow feels like it's been played at every wedding, slow dance, and romantic moment since it released in 1977. Clapton's gentle guitar playing and the soft, mellow melody work perfectly for a romantic ballad, but they also contribute to the song's lack of variety. It feels like the kind of track that you'll hear in a loop, stuck in the background of 1,000 TV shows, movies, and sentimental moments. Its predictability and simplicity, while initially charming, eventually begin to feel bland. Lyrically, the song is basic to the point of being almost painfully so. The repetitive refrain of "You look wonderful tonight" doesn't leave much for emotional exploration or depth. It's become almost too safe a song that can be relied upon to set a mood, but one that lacks the bite or edge that Clapton's other work is known for. And finally, the song that managed to unite rock fans everywhere, in a chorus of What Were They Thinking? Number 1. We Built This City, Starship, 1985.
We built this city on rock and roll.
We Built This City by Starship is one of the most infamous tracks of the mid-80s. Not just because of its chart dominance, but because it represents everything that rock fans hated about the direction the genre was taking at the time. Released in 1985, the song hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, but over the years, it's come to symbolize the shift toward glossy, commercial pop rock that many argue signaled the end of rock's rebellious soul. What was meant to be a rallying cry for the spirit of rock ended up sounding more like a sanitized anthem for an era dominated by safe, mass-produced hits. Longtime fans of the genre quickly pointed out that it had lost its raw energy and rebellious edge that defined rock's golden years. And yet, for all its faults, We Built This City had a certain magnetic quality. It's like the song's version of a guilty pleasure, cringeworthy, yet oddly satisfying. You're annoyed when it starts, but before you know it, you're singing along, knowing full well that it's as much a cultural punchline as it is a hit. It's the perfect example of a song you love to hate, because somehow it never fails to make an impact, even if it's the wrong kind. So, do you agree these are the worst rock songs of the 70s and 80s, or are you defending one of them? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more.